Hi there, I'm John from CNCKing.com, and today we're going to replace aluminum caps with 3D printed caps. Now the customer has a unique problem. They have hundreds of these, and they all have different cap sizes. Now you can of course get aluminum, and once you figure out the thread count and all that kind of stuff, you get a perfect fit, which is good. The problem is if you have hundreds of them and they're all different sizes and different thread counts and what have you, it becomes a mess very, very quickly. So when the customer first approached me for this project, they asked me if I could do the aluminum ones. And after looking at the project, I decided that's not the way forward with this project at all. It should be plastic. Now the reason for plastic is a couple reasons. Number one, you have aluminum threads. So if we have aluminum threads, if we're making metal parts to fit on here, that's totally possible. But the problem is we're going to wear out the threads, and again, they only have like one or two of these, and the next batch would be one or two, and the next batch will be one or two, and so forth. So it's not a very efficient way to work at all. And especially with metal and the cost of metal and production and design, it doesn't work very well. So my solution was 3D printing them right off the bat. I have experience doing 3D printing about 10 years ago, and this project is a great way to get back into it for this specific project. So the first test I did was, here's a cap. So PLA. It won't damage the threads. And I just did a test fit, and you can sort of push it in and it works. So that tells me that my tolerances with PLA are a little bit different than they would be with aluminum, because I used digital calipers and it was a specific perfect fit. So as you can see, 3D printing is actually a layered process. So you start at the bottom of the model, whatever you define that to be, and you slowly work your way up. Now because of that, that's why it's called an additive process, while subtractive is every other video you've seen on my website, where you have a machine going into a solid block of material and removing material. That's why it's subtractive. Now each one has a plus and a minus. The advantage to additive is that you have a lot more flexibility regarding very, very tight tolerances. They're just not possible with any other CNC machine. After realizing I have the tolerances right, the next step was going at different sizes. So you can see here, this is, let me get 1.26 or 26.1, 26.2. So once I got that sorted out, so 26.2 fits really nicely, and you can actually use the threads to put it on. Now the new problem you have is how you're going to take it off once it's on, because it's very slippery, right? If you can see here, it's a perfect cylinder. So the solution to that is to go with 3D printed, I don't know what you'd call these, grips, I guess. So now I have my tolerances for the inner diameter. So this is 26.2, depends how you look at it, 26.2 millimeters. And now you have something you can thread on without damaging the threads at all. And you have something you can grip, so it's very easy to take on and remove. And the only spec that the customer needs to send to me is actually just the diameter of here. I've established the tolerances for the fit and the repeatable. So I have different sizes here. So the customer just needs to basically use digital calipers, measure out the height of the threads that they want. You have to measure out the diameter of this. And based on that, we know exactly how much give to give for the perfect fit. The nice thing about 3D printing is that it's a print on demand process. And we can basically do the whole thing in our shop, which is wonderful. If it was aluminum, well then we need aluminum blanks, we need to machine the aluminum, like it's a whole process, while 3D printing is an additive process, which makes it a lot more efficient. The nice thing about 3D printers is that even this entry-level machine here is very, very precise, and it's repeatable. And what I mean by that is, when I was testing the tolerances out on these parts, I would take a day off, so to speak, between actually doing the first batch and then doing the second batch, just to see if the tolerances are kept between them when everything's turned off and back on and so forth. And everything was dead on. And I was adjusting things up by 0.1 millimeter, which is infinitely small. Like, it's a crazy amount of material to be playing tolerances with for an entry-level CNC printer here. This printer here is a couple $100 and it works amazing. I will be upgrading it soon to do this project a little bit more efficiently because it is slow, although it's very precise. Now the nice thing about 3D printing is I also know how to do 3D modeling, so I could basically go from the model, digital, all the way to the actual fabrication relatively fast. So when it comes to 3D printing parts, there's definitely a specific niche for that and a case study for that. If you want something that's CNC routed, there's something specific to that. So every machine has a plus and a minus, and for this specific project, the 3D printer was hands down the best option for it. So if you're looking for custom parts, 3D printed, CNC routed, laser engraved, cut, whatever, contact me at CNCKing.com. We'll make them for you and ship them right to your door.